Welcome to the Thriving Mayor Show, the weekly broadcast featuring former and current mayors who are thriving, sharing their story, insight, wisdom, and viewpoint. Join us and comment on social media as we meet another of the superheroes we elect to lead the rejuvenation of our towns and cities and who serve us all. Visit www.thrivingmayor.com to learn more. Here we go. Good morning, everyone. I'm Michael Hubicki, the host of the Thriving Mayor Show. It's March 24th, 2021, and I'm super excited today to have as our guest Dr. Oleg Konovalov, author of the brand new book, The Vision Code. Hello, Oleg.
Michael, thank you very much for inviting.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Well, it's super awesome to have you here, Oleg, and I'll get into a little bit about how we virtually met. But first of all, I'd just like to read our territorial acknowledgement to start the show off. We will begin this episode by acknowledging that we are broadcasting on Aboriginal land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. As settlers, we're grateful for the opportunity to meet here, and we thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. Long before today, there have been Aboriginal peoples who have been the stewards of this place. In particular, we acknowledge the traditional territory of the Anishinaabeg, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, Ojibwe, Chippewa peoples. This territory is covered by the Williams Treaty.
Great.
Yeah. So I have a little bit of a bio that I could read as well, Oleg, but I just wanted to again say thank you so much for joining the show. I'm reading through your book. I find it intriguing, really fascinating, and so relevant and powerful to our leaders today. Yeah. Whereabouts are you located right now?
Actually, I'm located between UK and Russia, and I'm in Moscow, because of lockdown, but it's great for me. But you see, one of the triggers for me to write the Vision Code was the wisdom of the previous generations. You mentioned people in your territory, and we're grateful for their lessons, because what I'm always saying, age deserves pensions, but people wisdom and respect to the next generation deserves everything.
Beautiful.
That is quite important to consider when we talk about where we live, what we inherited, and why we should keep that line going in a great sense.
Yeah,
they live for us. And we should create something for the next generation beyond ourselves.
Beautiful vision. And we'll get back to your vision. So by way of a quick introduction, Dr. Oleg is a thought leader, author, business educator, consultant, and C-suite coach with over 25 years of experience operating businesses and consulting Fortune 500 companies internationally. Having been named as the Vinci of Visionary Leadership by many leading authorities of our time, Dr. Oleg is helping organizations to create and execute their vision, maintain a strong, productive corporate culture, and achieve superior performance. He is on the Thinkers 50 radar, Global Guru's Top 30 in leadership, and has been recognized as #1 global thought leader on culture by Thinkers 360. The list goes on and on and on, Dr. Oleg. So I'm super happy that you could be with us on the Thriving Mayor Show today. And now for the test of my Russian. Добрый день, как дела?
Well, pretty fair. I do understand it. All is great. Thank you very much. How are you?
Very well, thanks. It's funny, Oleg. Yesterday, I was walking with my dad, who's almost 90, and his parents were Polish Ukrainian and came over to Canada in 1919. I said, "Hey, Dad, do you remember how to say good afternoon in Russian?" He goes, "Oh yeah, jak się maje pan," or dzień dobry. I said, "That sounds an awful lot like Polish," but he goes, "Oh, it's almost all the same."
Yeah, it's just a matter dzień dobry or dobry dzień.
Yeah. So great. I was Zoom introduced to Dr. Oleg at 2 of his WBEX, or World Business Executive Coaching sessions, over the last few months. Both of his sessions I found super intriguing, powerful. I took copious amounts of notes and was looking at how do I integrate what Dr. Oleg is teaching, especially about visionary leadership, with my coaching with mayors. It's so relevant, and especially now as we're getting into more and more virtual situations with our teams, to have that strong vision is really, really, really powerful. There was one quote that I found on your bio, a rather older bio, that I really love. It said, "My work journey is quite colorful. From a deep sea trawler engine room, which is one of the riskiest professions, to the top managerial positions, fishing industry experience is invaluable." And before the show, we talked a little bit about how we both have a passion for the sea and shipping, but and we live on a boat in the summer. But your experience does sound really risky, and I'm curious how that journey progressed into what you're doing now.
I'm really grateful for this experience. You work in a team. You survive in a team. You succeed in a team. You can't see anyone on board wearing a crown. Neither captain or cook or engineer or decky.
Yeah.
No one with a crown. All work hard. And that is fascinating. We all have the same goal. We all want to be back home safe and with money or with cash, everything. Going at sea, it's so uncertain.
Yeah.
But we know that we need to get back. This is more certain.
Yeah.
So we know where we go and why we go. And there are so real experience. There are no political games, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Straightforward work.
Yeah, that's amazing. And every single person on a ship role is invaluable.
This is exactly about roles, because this is nothing about job descriptions.
Yeah.
It's about roles, how we support each other. You can't say on board of a trawler that, hey, I wouldn't do this because this is not on my duties.
Yeah.
No. Next trip, no one will take you.
Right. That kind of reminds me a little bit about your golden rule for leaders.
Leaders is about acting for people, acting with people, and acting for their needs.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's not a show. It's a commitment, sacrifice, and effort. This is quite important because we often consider being a leader is a status that I have reached, and I should be praised for this.
Yeah.
You could say, okay, the Vinci of Visionary Leadership. When I got this, I understood that is a ton of responsibility. This is nothing about to be just like bravado stuff. It's about responsibility. It's about why I should grow. I grow to help and lead people better. What about leadership? Leadership, I recently wrote an article for the CEO World magazine, The Oath of a Visionary Leader. We don't need a captain for a ship that stays in a harbor. We need a captain to navigate through the rough seas. So I don't need a leader, in fact, to manage daily tasks. I need a leader to show me that bright future and lead me there. So it's not about pleasing. It's not about consensus. It's about guiding and being firm on this.
Yeah, and it's wonderful how you can so strongly relate that back to. I guess we're almost. Sometimes we talk about the links in the chain, that we're only as strong as the weakest link in the chain. But the leader has this knowledge bank that they can access and they could take advantage of. And through caring and integration, they can show their people or really help their people thrive and work towards that common vision.
Yes, because leadership is defined by what my people achieved.
Yeah.
This is, I'm becoming better leader if my people have grown and they made me a better leader because I have made them better.
Absolutely. And I guess that also relates back to the internal motivation and the external motivation that you talk about in the book. That in sports, we talk about intrinsic motivation, which is the joy for the game and the joy for being with my teammates and performing for my fans and my family, or external, which is I want to win the medal. I want to get the most kills in the set or the most touchdowns and things like that.
I was brought up in the Soviet Union. In old days, for instance, if the Soviet sportsman won an Olympic game or the world championship, I think that is a huge win of the Soviet sport. Come on, this guy was just not fighting for the Soviet sport. He was fighting for his position and that ranking.
Yeah.
And that is very, very different. Motivation is some kind of a short push.
Yeah,
I want to be better. I want to reach a higher position. One of the most frequent requests I'm getting. We want to create a $1 billion company. Okay. Or I want to be number one in something. Hold on. This is your motivation. What's in it for me?
Yeah.
That is your game. I want to be a mayor. Cool. What would I get? What people would benefit from it?
Yeah.
From your mayorship. That is very different story. So this is more about inspiration because I'm motivated externally to do something and I'm not very prepared to do it, but I'm pushing myself. Inspiration. Right. I'm get inspired by people and I'm becoming a source of inspiration for them. What does it mean, inspiration? If we think for a moment, is it a fluid or is it some kind of a senses? Inspiration is a clear sign you can't do it because somebody showing to me, I can't do it. So if I'm leading people, I'm inspiring them, I'm showing them, hey, you can be better. You're already better and you will be even more better, or much better. And in this sense, I inspire others and they inspire others in own turn. And so what I'm always saying, we're here to reveal the greatness of each other.
Wow.
That is very important. Particularly when we live in a small town, we know each other.
Yeah.
Even not by name, but we know, hey, he lives somewhere there. And I lived in such places and I love to live in a smaller town rather than a big city.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to feel people. It's about smiling to each other, even just like unconditionally. And this is where we could really inspire each other. But when I'm motivated, just for myself, and this is empty promises to myself.
Yeah.
But when I'm inspired by something greater than me, that is tremendous. Because everyone gets involved.
Well, you called it being a magnet.
Oh, yeah, because it's a magnet, because people feel that they're attracted. They're attracted and they're putting their energy to it. In fact, you see, when we create a vision, it's not about having a great picture of the future. That's fine. That is important. Very important to make others the co-owners of that vision.
Yeah.
Because let's think on a simple scale. Okay, take a family as an example. If a husband doesn't see his wife in that future, he thinks only of himself, would it be a happy family? No, it would be just a social exchange. If, as a leader, I don't see my people in that vision as co-owners of it, not just employees or citizens, would it be for them? No.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be inspired. They are inspired when they see themselves in that future. And they will do everything. You also, hey, our town will be the best for you, and everyone will commit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And they will commit, and they will impact on every single thing, and they will put that as a legacy for the next generation.
Yeah. Speaking about mayors go through various stages. There's the decision to run for office. There's then the campaign, the election campaign. Then there's the election night. Then there's winning the election, and usually 4 terms. So it's a very short. Sometimes it's a short period that a mayor is the leader. And then the mayor's got to transition with some kind of plan. What are they going to do after they're the mayor? And I'm wondering, do people, say a mayor going through this process, are they crafting a different vision as they go? Do you think, or
no? That is a big mistake.
Right.
You should have an initial vision. Based on that, you promise people something, and your leadership or your mayorship will be judged against your promises and people expectations, how it is delivered.
All right.
And the thing is, your vision should grow in scale. It's about scalability. And I wrote the vision code, this as a very specific, very important element. And it must grow in depth and in breadth, because you could see more opportunities, you could see more potential, you reveal the potentials of your town, of your people. And therefore, you should add even more value. And therefore, by the end of your election period, you must over-deliver your promises. And that is important. Then you could grow. And what's important, at the same time, you should grow others in your team as visionaries, because, okay, you're leaving that position, you go somewhere else, and the people who would remain after your leadership, they could pick it up and keep it growing. And that is quite important, because what happens, they think as that fragments, I have a decision to go for election. Cool, done, fixed. Whatever. And then comes murky promises. I am better than my competitor. That is very wrong, because it's about those political platforms. But political platforms is mainly based on aims, which are written in documents.
Right.
They were written maybe 100 years ago, 50 years ago, or 20 years ago. They become irrelevant. The world is changing so fast these days.
Wow, yeah.
Think of, even, I have a case of working with one of the municipalities in the Eastern Europe. 50,000 people, approximately, population. And the population becomes very old, because the majority of young people are fleeing away. And
same everywhere.
Well, the thing is, first of all, everything I just looked through the papers was written like in 1960s, during the old days. They're not relevant. Infrastructure is not there.
Yeah.
And the majority of municipality staff is very old. They're thinking old way. They tend to drag old problems into that new reality. And therefore, it was recrafted in the way what to do. They've been thinking why, instead of thinking what they could offer for the next generation.
Oh.
And was something interesting done, and we're still working on it. But the first instance, what was done, no one talked to the young people. No one talked to their parents. Why and what?
Wow.
And it was simple. It was done over the week or so. 10 days was like main questioning. I will tell you, over the last year, the number of startups in that place has risen by about 7 times. Two-thirds of them are working on improving local life, hospitality, healthcare, social care, different things. 1/3 is about, I would say easily, it's more of an international expansion. And that immediately triggered for young guys who were studied somewhere in different cities or even abroad, coming back because they see that they cared. And it was quite interesting to see. They want to see every generation thriving. That is, it's still in the, you can't create a vision overnight.
No.
It's about, you see, vision comes when you conscious awareness of a problem you want to solve for the benefit of others, which is its peak. So it's about crafting it, creating it.
Oh, yeah.
Another problem when you talk about election, they're drafting some kind of a statement of promises, which seemingly better than competitor statement.
Right.
But if they think a bit deeper in terms, okay, what a real problem I would solve, because that leads to a conflict of those political platforms. One party or politician is better than another. They think so. And they're fighting.
Yeah.
Like crabs in the jar. No, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
If I have a vision, I have an ability to unite them together, and they complement each other. Yeah, they have a different standings, but they still respect each other because they see each other contributing. And they, instead of fighting against each other, they're fighting for people.
Amazing. So they put their
It sounds easy. It's not easy, I would say. It's fairly difficult, but that demands a deep thinking.
So that's taking our ego, putting our ego in the back pocket, off to the side, and thinking about, I am here to serve. I am here to create a community and help everyone get better. My competitors, all the counselors, the staff, the residents of the municipality. Yeah.
We're humans. We'll have ego. That's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to what extent you control it. Because so we're saying, take your crown off, and ego kills vision instantly because I don't see people. I see only myself. But ego, no one is attracted by somebody's huge ego, does he? So, it's about how I could commit myself. One of the questions I'm always asking my clients, would you prepare to commit your life for these people? If not, you're committing only for yourself.
Yeah.
But your personal ambitions will drive people off a cliff, and they wouldn't support you. They will take a revenge on you. Yeah. That's very risky. And another thing, yes, you grow in position, you become influential, you got a lot of power. And that blinds you as well, because in this sense, you got to be questioned. But when you have a vision, which is greater than you, than your organization, it helps you very much to keep it your ego on a short leash.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking on a scale. You're not thinking about short-term games. That is very different. Therefore, ego is something to work in a very different way.
Yeah.
When you have a lot of ego, you are thinking about self-confidence, which is quite tricky thing. But when you talk vision, you're thinking about confidence. And confidence is something I found that is very interesting term. I'm confident that I know that I deliver my promises. And that immediately comes to a simple question. What promises left undelivered over the last week or over the last months? And that immediately kills your vision because I will deliver that. I must do this. So I'm wrong. I will do this in the best way. That is also another thing is when we're getting too much power, we must remember that we are all surrounded by walls, mirrors, and liars. But when you must think beyond all these things. Because people trying to please you for some kind of, I don't know, reasons or causes.
Their ego.
Oh yeah, they are, they're pleasing your ego
and their own ego.
Yeah,
yeah,
and exactly. And this is where you need to think. Okay, does it work in terms of making vision better? Does it benefit people, or does it only pleasing me?
Yeah. Yeah. We, in sports, Oleg, we use a term ego and we go. So we have an athlete whose ego is dominant and they become an island in the team and they destroy team chemistry. And then we also, we use the term we go. So that's our collective ego. So we don't try to diminish it, but we say it's a collective. And that's a vision that we work towards. Is that we go on a team.
I lived for almost half of my life in Arctic, in Kola Peninsula. And I have a fishing buddy on whom I rely completely. He relies on me because we could go somewhere very, very far, just like no mobile phones, nothing like that, no rescue, just like we're relying on each other. Of course, we are competitors when we catch a fish. Oh, I got bigger fish, or you got larger fish, or smaller fish, whatever, just like we're in competition, own ego, but we both know that whatever happens, we will drag each other over trouble.
Yeah.
And when you turn ego to vigo, as you said, great analogy with sport as well.
Yeah, yeah. And the trust is so important that if we don't trust each other, that they've got our back, or there's that psychological safety, can be super damaging. So again, with vision, the vision has to bring everyone together, so they trust.
Michael, great point. Because think, what is a mayor's credibility? This is linked to confidence. If mayor delivers his or her promises, people trust the mayor, and this is about credibility. They are together.
Yeah.
Because if promises are not delivered, who will trust you? It would be just like, oh yeah, here's a mayor. Yeah, another dodgy mayor. We've seen them all.
We've seen everybody, every different kind of politician, mayor, and even our media stars, right? Sometimes they're held at a different level, and it's really fun to look at that. Oleg, when a mayor has crafted his or her vision, and they've got 4 years, so they've been elected. It's day one. Do you think that should they have that vision strongly crafted and have that as part of their election campaign, or should they work with the new council they're coming in with and craft something together, and then how do they implement that?
If you have a chance to create it before, that is phenomenally great, because you could start executing from a day one.
Oh yeah,
that's phenomenal. But if you don't, I have this algorithm, for instance, helping people to create their vision fairly quick, and not overnight, as I said, but within a matter of a few months, you could create a strong vision. Yes, you need to involve people, because the first thing, you must listen.
Yeah.
You must listen to the people's needs. You must listen to the pain points. You must see what demands real change, which might be not very obvious. And the earlier you start is better. Of course, there's not much point to do it on the last moment, but still you could leave a strong vision. You could leave as a legacy.
I was just thinking that when you talked before about the mayor, as the mayor retired or moved away, the people who were working with the mayor pick up that vision and promote it. What an amazing legacy.
I'll give you a simple example of, well, it's a historical example, but it's well known. Carl Gustav Mannerheim, who had a great vision for Finland, even being Swedish, who was educated in Tsar Russia, and Finland is one of the most prosperous countries in the world. And they still think, hey, thanks to the father of Finland. It was legacy. Tremendous.
Wonderful. Well, Oleg, thank you so much. This has been an amazing interview, and I'm really looking forward to finishing the book and to continue our discussion on LinkedIn and sharing your insights with the mayors and people that I can chat with. How do people connect with you, Oleg, or purchase your book or books? Because you have I think at least.
I have quite a few. Thank you very much. I'm always responding to the messages through my website, or my email is on the website, olegkonovalov.com. I'm happy to connect on LinkedIn. As you know, you're sending a message and I'm always responding.
Yeah.
I'm happy to respond and help where I can. And because my vision is to create 1 million visionaries across the globe. Therefore, I'm happy to help brave people who are thinking about the future.
Wow. 1 million visionaries across the globe.
They will make a huge difference.
Well, count me in.
My legacy.
Count me in as one of your million, Oleg.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I just want to tie my conclusion back into something that Oleg said about smiling and being kind and considerate. And one of my favorite quotes is by Coach John Wooden, UCLA basketball coach, and it's in the outro of the show. But it basically boils down to be first. Be the first person to smile. Be the first person to make eye contact. Be the first person to say hello. Be the first person to remember someone and reach out and send them an email. And if we all did that, can you imagine how wonderful our lives would be?
You can't create a positive future within negative mode.
No.
Just smile. As you said, be first. Move.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Oleg, so much. This has been a wonderful visit with you. I encourage everybody to visit Oleg's website. I'll put the address in the show notes, and check out Oleg's book, The Vision Code. Wonderful, and it's a wonderful read. It's got so many captivating stories and people that you interviewed.
Thank you very much, Michael. My pleasure and honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for joining the Thriving Mayor Show. Make sure to like and share and tell your friends and colleagues. Mayors are awesome and are the change agents to enhance the quality of living for over 80% of us. Remember what Coach Wooden said, you cannot live a perfect day without doing something for someone who can never repay you. Much love and peace. Until next time.